This implies that death is really a threshold to a whole new journey with God.
So let me ask you, what happens after you die? This is one big, oh my God, question today. What really happens after I die? Now, I bet you don't like to talk about death too much, but I know you wonder about it a lot, right? Well, don't worry. I've got your back on this one. Keep watching. You'll want to discover my really important answer about death. You know, it's really interesting, I think, that we are all going to do it, that's die, but you don't like to think about it, much less talk about it, right? Yep, I thought so. So you're asking, what really happens after I die? Don't you think it's about time you talked about it, even though you hate it? Well, one Sunday not too long ago in church, I talked with them about what happens after death.
You know what we typically do about death? We ignore it. We hope it just won't come our way. We ignore it. We forget it. We pack it aside. We put it someplace and we hope it never comes up. I think one of the main reasons we do that is because it scares us too much. There is no getting around it. I don't care what's on your mind. I don't care what shape you are in. I don't care how young you are or how seasoned you are. We're all going. It's all going to happen. We are afraid of those things that we don't understand. And the second point is we are afraid of those things that we cannot control. Now, I will admit with you and be honest with you about this subject. To a degree, it's healthy to be afraid of death. It helps to keep us alive, to keep us sane, to keep us careful, to keep us, going down a safe track in life. And here's the difference that faith makes. The fact that we are going to die, it should help to make us grateful for what we have. Death is not the end. It is rather a brand new beginning. As we struggle with the mystery of our death, we discover the meaning and the purpose of our lives. For people of faith, people of a balanced idea and a trust in God, having a death-like experience, an illness of sort, something serious enough where it scares you almost to death, when you get past that time, that moment, you go, oh, thank you. I made it. And for many, many, many people of faith, you have a new lease on life. And from that moment on, life becomes precious. I had an experience not too many years ago where I thought I would die. I was struck with an illness, and I honestly thought before the paramedics came that this was it. Well, it didn't happen. Here I am. I got through it. It took months and months and months, but I got through it. It was a time of luck for me because I would have never wanted that for anybody, especially me. But what happened through it and after it is I started to appreciate life at a newer, deeper, more grateful level because of what happened. One also, when they embrace their mortality, they gain a deeper sense of their need for people around them, their appreciation for the love they receive from those nearest to them, and also their appreciation to God, the giver of life, the giver of hope, the giver of healing, and the God who is on the other side of the door to welcome us home. What's on the other side? We've got the old classic chicken crossing the road. Why did the chicken cross the road? He wanted to get to the other side, right? So here we have the chicken looking to the other side, and he meets halfway. It looks like the enlightened chicken, or maybe the chicken from heaven. And he asked the question, so what's it like on the other side? Perhaps the most familiar passage of Scripture that promises the gift of life after death is found in John 14, verses 1 through 3. Here we find Jesus in the upper room just before his death, and what is he doing? He's comforting his disciples. He said to them, "Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms." Think about that, rooms. "If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And when I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again, and I will take you to myself, so that where I am, you may be also." Here's what one commentator said about that passage. Clearly, some comforting words about life after death, about what happens after we die. This commentator said this passage reveals interesting aspects about life after death. For example, the word rooms could also be interpreted as rest areas. In other words, these rooms are not permanent, but they provide a resting place. This implies that death is really a threshold to a whole new journey with God. On this journey, we will be provided with comfort and rest along the way as we ready ourselves for the next steps on the other side. And so as Christians, we have nothing to fear from death. We really don't. Let's be honest, our fear is probably dying, that part. That doesn't feel good for the most part. But death is not the end. It's a doorway to something better, something new. It is always, as the picture depicts, God plus us. Always.
I hope you understand that death is more like a door rather than the total end of things. It's not like when you die, you just smack up against a brick wall and that's it. There's nothing. What you do when you die is you go through the door and there's a whole new experience on the other side. God says so. So get ready. It's not as bad as you might think it is. Have faith in God's love for you, that He has prepared a special place, or you might call it an experience for you and for everyone too. In the Bible, if you recall, Jesus reassures our fears about death. He said in John 14, "I go and prepare a place for you, and I will come back and get you so that you will always be with me where I am." Now, that's cool. I'd love to hear your comments below. And while you're at it, please just hit the subscribe button too, because you won't want to miss my next video. Also, there's a little bell icon next there. All you have to do is just click that bell icon. You'll get notification. Thanks. Remember today, I got your back for your questions on God.